Sometimes something really special can happen in the community of a certain type of media. People might come together and make an incredible remake of an old video game simply because the community around that game is so passionate about it. People, for decades, have created their own homebrew, entire full-on supplements, often rivaling the quality of the original tabletop RPG that inspired it. Look at Helena's Guide to Hunting Monsters or The Quest Anomicon, just to name two of hundreds of high-quality, community-built books. But sometimes people want to create something like this, not even necessarily with the community, but for the community, which in itself is not a heinous act. But what is heinous is lying and cheating to try and convince people that your product is worth something. As everyone is well aware, Pathfinder 2e is severely lacking in the video game department, and we have something great coming in the next couple of years with the Dragon's Demand. This video is not about you, baby. You are phenomenal. I love you. I am really hopeful. Don't screw it up. But did you know there was a second Pathfinder 2e video game on Kickstarter this past month? And it was something I wasn't going to talk about because I did my research, as I always believe everybody should. Do not just take my word or a single thing online at face value. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions. But there is a game that was a Pathfinder 2e CRPG, just like Baldur's Gate, just like Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, and it was going to be in its own totally new engine, Moondrift Memory. It was going to use this new Starstone engine to create a Pathfinder 2e adventure, the kind that everybody has always wanted for the last 5 years. However, it very quickly was apparent it was never going to succeed. The reason behind this is because the CEO of Streetlight Studios, the company developing Moondrift Memory, who goes by Chris, was successfully connected to a specific Reddit account known as Luck Panda. Luck Panda was actually a full moderator on the Pathfinder 2e subreddit, who ended up saying things so abhorrent and racist and against the entire policy of the subreddit that not only was their moderation status stripped from them, but they had to make a public apology post and were stripped of any and all duties whatsoever relating to the subreddit itself. Basically, talk shit, get hit. This situation actually got so bad that people were wondering why nobody was taking action, that it felt like Luck Panda as a moderator had free reign to say these things because the moderation team wasn't stopping them. You know, Luck Panda's part of the moderation team, mods didn't want to get involved with mods, and it all became very messy, and Luck Panda definitely grew a reputation around them. So rumors started going around, and people did some digging. They wanted to know for sure whether the CEO of Streetlight Studios was Luck Panda. And by some digging, they were able to find this image that you see on screen right now, showing that the same person, the same head of the entire project from the Moondrift Memory CRPG Discord server is in fact the same person as Luck Panda, as can be seen in the DM at the top of the image. As a small tangent, interestingly, Luck Panda's entire downfall on the Pathfinder 2e subreddit actually led to a sort of subreddit-wide moderation team update. A lot of people, who I won't be naming names because these ones aren't as important, but I've seen them causing trouble over the past few years, have stepped down from moderation roles. There are new moderators. Moderators have different restrictions and abilities and whatnot. That's neither here nor there. Let's go back to Moondrift Memory. So, people have officially figured out that Luck Panda, the abhorrent racist moderator, ex-moderator on the Pathfinder 2e subreddit, is in fact the CEO of the company developing Moondrift Memory. As such, the Kickstarter launches to pretty much crickets. As you can see from this screenshot I took on March 22nd, of their $300,000 US goal, near the end of their first week, which, by the way, is the single strongest moment, period, of a Kickstarter, they only made less than 5% of their goal. Why is this important? Why am I even mentioning this? I could have ended the video already, right? Bad person, tried to make a Kickstarter, their past catches up with them, people know who you are and are not going to support you and your product, even if it's the best product in the world. Well, it's because the story doesn't end there. Like a true proper BBEG, Luck Panda needs to go down swinging. So let's fast forward about 3 weeks to today, April 14th. One day before taxes, by the way. I did my taxes today. If you've forgotten, do it now. You don't want to get penalized. A friend of mine sent me a link to a Reddit post about how Moondrift Memory has been, understandably, canceled. There was only about a week left on their entire Kickstarter, and they were nowhere close to their goal. But then I noticed a comment in that Reddit thread. If you check out the Reddit post by the Moondrift Memory team, it reads as follows. After a whirlwind Kickstarter launch and a wave of incredible feedback, the team at Streetlight Studio has decided to conclude the Moondrift Memory Prologue campaign early. Not because the adventure is over, but because it's just getting started. And then they throw out a bunch of hullabaloo about this is not for the community, it should be by the community. Why want to get you involved? We're going to be coming back bigger and better with more to show. When they clearly don't realize that that's not what's holding them back. It's their history. So that's full of hot air, but for a laugh, I decided to read the comments. And the comment from background number 8968 caught my eye. That last second spike of over $120,000 by 11 backers right before the Kickstarter gets canceled is suspicious to me. If you look at the Moondrift Memory page as it is right now, it says they reached 136,000 pledged out of 300,000 of the goal. Now, why is this weird? Well, because I just happened to have taken a screenshot from a couple days ago. See, I had actually been talking about Moondrift Memory with my friend exactly 12 days ago. And on that day, as you can see from this screenshot, they had still only raised 16,000 US dollars. So you're telling me in the last 12 days, they raised $120,000 out of seemingly nowhere? And the number of backers went up by less than 20. As you can see, the screenshot isn't great, it's covering the backers there, but you can see $16,000 pledged with 250 something backers, and here 136,000 pledged with 265 backers. At most, that is 15 more backers. At most. And then you cancel it? Do not ever support Streetlight Studio in any kind of endeavor they try to do going forward. If they're going to lie and show $120,000 in fake pledges just to make it look like they were halfway there, that if they just come back a little bit stronger, they'll get it next time, that's disgusting. That's revolting. Because it's not like these are actually 10 people who all pledged $10,000. No, it is so obvious to a toddler with the most basic understanding of fundraising that you don't make $120,000 and then cancel your project. You also don't just go 20 days with no funding and then 7 times your funding. That's not how this works. It's not even like it was the last 2 days of the project. Sure, people might be like, oh, well, the last 2 days of a project, that's when everyone gets their backings in. That's not what this was. There were still like 5 days left, I believe, on their Kickstarter. They put in a bunch of money and then pulled the plug to make it look like they were closer. Also, one thing I want to look into if I ever want to do a follow-up on this video, I never scrolled down. It says the vocal director for this project was going to be Sean Schemmel? Like Goku Sean Schemmel? I want to see if I can get a hold of him. I want to see if I can get Sean Schemmel on the phone, because I need to know if that was even remotely true, or if these people have been lying in even more ways than just the finances. But let me know what you think. This is absolutely disgusting behavior from someone who is just trying, even if they're just trying to make a game. Like even if Starlight Studios absolutely just wants to make their game and that's why they're doing it, it's not an excuse. You're lying. You are being completely deceitful to the community that you're trying to earn the trust of and saying you're coming back stronger. It's gross. do not support this company, no matter what they try to do again in the future. And I don't think you will, because it's obvious from Moondrift memory that there's no chance that these people ever manage to do anything. And that's for the best. Talk shit, get hit, and your past always catches up with you. Anyway, Pathfinder's fun. I love it. I'm gonna go play some. See ya!